When I first got started in the insurance industry, I had no idea what I was doing, but luckily I found a mentor that actually showed me a lot of things, including how you can use email marketing and CRMs to nurture that traffic and leads that you're getting into your business to actual clients. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys my exact CRM and email marketing setup that I use to consistently generate anywhere from 25 to 50 leads per month in my business. What is up, guys? For those of you new to the channel, my name is Philip Setter. I've been in the insurance industry for over 10 years now, and I've been able to scale my insurance brokerage to six figures and beyond 100% online using social media and digital marketing. If you guys want to do the exact same thing in your business, I created a 2-hour totally free masterclass that walks you through exactly step-by-step what I did in my business. If you guys want access to that, just comment masterclass below and I will send it to you. But without further ado, let's just get right into this video. Okay, before we actually get into the CRM and the emails that I'm using, I just want to talk to you guys about business here a little bit, and I'll just run you through it very quickly. However, the basics of business is very easy to understand. You have 4 different components. Component number 1 is you need to get raw eyeballs on your funnel, and we're going to go over all this here in a second. So raw eyeballs, raw attention is number 1. Number 2 is your funnel. That's how do we nurture and convert leads to actual clients and booked meetings. Number 3 is our actual product or service. So for us in the financial industry, it's either insurance products, maybe financial planning, maybe investments, whatever it is, you're sitting down with the client, you're figuring out what they need, a product or service. And then number 4 is dollar signs. That is the essence of business, and it's relatively simple to understand. If you're not making money, one of these 3 things is broken. Either A, you just don't have enough raw attention, which you can get by cold calling, door knocking, social media, Google ads, seminars, wine and dine events, networking, etc. There's a million different ways you can get raw attention. Of course, I say video content marketing and content marketing in general is one of the best ways, but there's lots of ways you can get raw attention. Number 2 is your funnel, driving people, especially for digital marketing, driving them to a landing page where you have a lead magnet, and you can nurture them from top of the funnel to middle to bottom of the funnel, which is now a booked meeting. And number 3 is your product or service. Now, if you're not, here's the thing, if you're getting traffic, people are coming to a landing page, they're putting in their information, you're nurturing them down, you know that's not broken. If you're actually getting meetings, but you're not getting sales, then you know you have something that you need to fix, whether it's your sales, what you're saying during the meeting, your communication style, what questions you're asking. But if you're not making money, one of these 3 things is broken. Again, you're either maybe not getting enough raw attention, something's wrong with your funnel, or it's not saying something's wrong with you, but something is wrong with your sales. But let's actually get into the screen share right now, and I'm going to go into the basics of a funnel and then how we can implement email marketing into your funnel so you can actually start to nurture those clients from being leads to actual clients. Okay, before we actually get into the email marketing and the CRM that I'm using here, and I'm going to walk you through step by step how you can build this out, also using ChatGPT prompts, which I'm going to give you guys here so you can do it incredibly fast and incredibly easy in a very professional manner. I just want to take you guys through the basics of a funnel here. So this is, if you don't know what a funnel is just a marketing term that is used to describe, a set of sequences or processes that nurture just, someone who doesn't know you at all, they're a stranger, to someone that know, like, and trusts you and wants to book a meeting with you. So it's just a way that we visually describe how you actually nurture someone from being, again, an absolute stranger to a client. So the way that you do this, we like to build, you like this little funnel here that I built? We like to build this little funnel, this little upside down thing. The reason that it's like tiered like this is because we dictate that, or we illustrate that to show you that up top we might have a lot of people coming in, but down below where we actually start to make the dollars, we might have less people come in. So at the very top, of the funnel is your landing page. You have your landing page, and then you have your lead magnet. And by the way, obviously, how we are getting people here, hang on, let me draw that, is by our raw attention or raw eyeballs. Hang on, that's traffic. This is kind of hard to do with a mouse. There we go, traffic. Again, that can be done a variety of different ways: social media marketing, digital marketing, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, could be door knocking, could be cold calling, getting people there, could be running seminars and directing people to your landing page, whatever it is that you get people there. Obviously, I have a bias towards social media and digital marketing, but once you actually have people that land on your landing page, no pun intended, then we want to have some type of valuable resource that they're willing to give you their email for in exchange for this piece of information. So I've made other videos how you can build out lead magnets and landing pages that are crafted towards your unique market in the financial services industry. So we're not going to get into that. We are going to assume that you've built this out, and there's many videos on my channel. Maybe just like take a look through and look at the different videos. I have one, definitely on lead magnet, as well as I think on landing page. But once we get their email, then of course we are going to be able to retarget them with email nurture campaigns. So we're going to build a series of campaigns, which is what we're talking about in this video, as well as retarget them with ads. So if they visit the landing page, then we will, hopefully you have a Google Pixel as well as a Meta Pixel, or it's actually called Google Tag Manager, Google Tag, as well as a Meta Pixel installed on that landing page, because then you can retarget that viewer on both Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, as well as Google, which Google owns YouTube, so you can also market to them on YouTube. So we want to have people going through this nurture campaign, which is the email nurture campaign, as well as the retargeting. And then eventually the next step is your call to action. So that could be a sales call. That could be an application form. That could be buy now. Probably not going to be buy now in our business. It is probably going to be them either A, filling out a form, or B, getting on a phone call with you and having you go through your services and actually sell them. And then, of course, we make the dollar signs. Okay, great. This is the basics of a funnel. And so once you can understand all the different components, before this, we have the traffic, which is the raw eyeballs, the raw attention. And after this, we have the sales call. So those two things are separate components. But once you actually start to drive traffic to this funnel, you can see what's happening. You can look at the analytics and see what's breaking down. So just to give you some average numbers here, let's say we have 1,000 people that go to our landing page, okay? A general rule of thumb is you should have 15 to 30% downloading your lead magnet, or give it, oh, wow, that's really bad. Hang on, let me do that. There we go. Downloading your lead magnet, giving their email in exchange for that. So let's go with 20%, okay? So out of that 20%, 200 people are then going to be in your email marketing campaign, pardon me. Now, after that, a general rule of thumb is 3 to 10%. There we go. Wow. Okay. Let's go with, what do we want to go with here? Let's go with 5%. So 5% of 200 is 10. Let's do that. Okay. So out of that amount, so 200 people are on there. So let's say 10 people are then going to book a call with you. And they say, yep, let's get on a meeting. Let's book a call. This sounds great. Now, this is where the numbers are a little bit more skewed because, of course, it is going to, be based upon how well of a salesperson you are, how good you are at closing, what kind of questions do you ask during the sales call, and how easy is it for them to move forward. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. It could be anywhere from 20% to let's just take that out, to 60%. Okay, which is quite a range here. So let's just say that you're really good at closing and you're going to do 50%. So let's say you get 5 sales, and let's put a big smile there. This is actually a really good conversion. If you're doing 5 sales, what is that? What's 5 divided by 1,000? Hang on, let me do this math in my head. That is a 0.5% conversion right there, which actually I would say is a little bit on the low end. 0.5% of 1,000 is 5%. I guess that's right, because 5% would be 50. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, that's a little bit low. I would say maybe it's closer to like 1%. So maybe I could have been a little bit more generous in a few of these different things. But yeah, I would probably say anywhere from 0.5 to 1.25% for a conversion would be a good conversion. But again, this all depends on how good you are at closing, your email marketing, etc. So let's actually get into how we can start to look at a CRM and build out those email marketing campaigns. So I did mention that we could use some ChatGPT prompts to actually build out these different lead nurture campaigns, and I will deliver on that promise. So if we go over here, this is our worksheets that we have for all of our different ChatGPT prompts. By the way, so this worksheet is for the Social Media Mastery for Financial Advisors, which is the course that I put together that I have all of my social media and digital marketing modules in there: YouTube, short form content, long form content, personal branding, building out your social media optimization. Everything is in there. These are the worksheets for it, which obviously there's more than this, but up top here, we have all these ChatGPT prompts that I've created for you. However, you do not have to buy the course to get access to these. If you want access to these prompts that I have built, just comment prompts below and I will send you a link where you can get access to them. But let's just go ahead and copy this prompt right here. Okay, let's go over here and let's copy this. And we can just put this directly into ChatGPT and build out our entire email marketing campaign that we're going to put into our CRM. So I'm an insurance broker who serves the blank niche market. So anyone that knows me knows that I work with mountain sports enthusiasts, so rock climbers, ice climbers, backcountry skiers, alpine climbers. I do all of those sports myself, and I've branded myself as the mountain sports life insurance guy. However, I'm going to go with a different angle in this video, and I'm going to brand myself as maybe the financial chef. So I'm going to say I'm an insurance broker who serves the niche of foodies. I have branded myself as the financial chef. Okay, there we go. And that's it. Then it's going to go through this little questionnaire here. So let's just go ahead. What example is it? Okay, what exactly, is your foodie niche? What's your personal origin story for becoming a financial chef? What core values guide you? What's the main lead magnet you want to deliver in email 1? A checklist guide. We already built that in another video, by the way, how to build a lead magnet. I showed you guys how to do that, and I actually did this as the financial chef. So this is really easy. I'm not going to go through this entire thing, but if you answer all these questions, it will spit out a series of emails. Hang on, let's see here. Email 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they're already all formatted 150 to 200 words a piece. So that is super easy for you to just grab these emails and copy them over. I'm just going to say this, make up answers for me real quickly, just so I can show an example of the emails. Obviously, go through this yourself and come up with actual answers that resonate with you. But we're just going to do a fictional case here to save a little bit of time. And let's go through this here, okay? Email number 1, your financial recipe is ready. Thanks for grabbing the 5-ingredient recipe for financial stability. It's attached right here. This is so great, okay? So we also have subject lines in here, and subject lines, okay? Want to share a story, worked in hospitality, long hours, unpredictable shifts, dreams of owning a home, message away. Okay, I would go through these emails. One of the things that I would make sure they have is a strong call to action. So I would say, I'll just say rewrite the first 3 emails to show a strong CTA to book a call. I should have put that in the prompt for you there, but everyone's CTA is a little bit different. But let's just go through this one right here. Okay, great. Here we go. We have number 1. So now that we have all of our emails already written, all we have to do is go into your CRM. So here's the thing. Every CRM is going to be different, whether you use Infusionsoft or you use HubSpot, Zoho. They're all the same. More or less. I'm going to show you Go High Level, which is the one that I use. And I'm just going to show you the basics of how to create this campaign out. And it's relatively the same in every single CRM. If you've never seen a CRM before, there was a point in my career where I had never seen a CRM and I had never seen any email marketing. So, I want to make this video for people who have never seen a CRM or email marketing, because at the time it blew my mind and I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. So let's go down to automations. This will be different in every single different CRM. They're all different, but the basics of it, it's going to be an automation or workflow. They all call it something differently. But let's just go ahead and I'll show you the basics of what this would look like. Autosave, sure. So the first thing that every CRM is going to have is a trigger, and most of the times you set this trigger by setting up a tag. So how I have it set up is if you downloaded the lead magnet, I would have set this up in the CRM, and then it would tag that user as, hey, they signed up, they triggered this form, and I'm going to tag them as lead magnet. So if you just go contact tag, let's go tag, and we'll call this, lead magnet. And I'm sure actually I probably have some type of tag already built out here. Let's see what I have built out in here. Tag added. Do I have any lead magnet? Lead magnet. Climbing lead magnet. Yeah, there you go. So this is one I already have in here. Climbing lead magnet downloaded. Great. So that is what is going to trigger the set of automations. And then obviously you're going to have an email. So you could send email number 1, put lead magnet. Okay. From, obviously put in your name, put in some other things, and then subject. So this is a little trick right here. If you've never seen this before, let's go back over to here and let's grab one of these subject lines. So let's say your financial recipe is ready. Let's copy that. Let's put that here. Another thing that you want to do is every CRM should have this. You want to use something known as a merge tag. So depending on what CRM you're using, it might just be something over here. But if you click it, you'll see a whole bunch of different tags. What this is going to do is going to auto-populate something about that contact, or there's a bunch of different things, obviously, but something about that contact can auto be populated into the subject line. So if you've seen this before in an email where it says like, hey, I want to talk to you, and then they say your name. I use this all the time in all of my marketing, and it increases the actual click-through rate and the open rate of all of your emails if you actually put in their name. So instead of just saying your financial recipe is ready, let's assume that John was the person who actually downloaded this. This subject line would say, your financial recipe is ready, John, and it just makes it that much more clickable. They want to open it. It's just that much more personal. So that's what I recommend for the subject line. And then if we go over here, this is the email. So let's just copy this and then obviously go here, paste that in. And then you'd obviously want to format it. So again, if we go up here, I would obviously put, hey, and then I would go up here and put, hang on, contact, first name. I would also put their first name there. And then I just format it, put the actual thing in, put the booking link in, and that's email number 1. So let's go ahead and save that. What do we miss? We'll just put this as from, Philip at policy stream. There we go. Okay, so now we have email number 1. So this is relatively easy. If we go back up here to the very top, I wonder if it says an actual, it doesn't actually say the time in. So maybe what we'll do is I'll just say, hey, can you give me timing for each email? How long to wait? There we go. Let's see what it says. There you go. So this right here, you can just do that. This is a good little sequence of time. So 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, etc. So let's go ahead and take that 2 days. So this is relatively easy. We'd go and we'd add a wait condition. Again, it's going to be different for each CRM that you're using. So let's go wait 2 days, and then we'll go wait 2 days. One thing I like to do is usually most CRMs will have this like advanced feature and you can select what timing you want. I usually only run my emails Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. There's a few different sequences that I have that run, throughout the weekend and things like that, depending on the client and where it is and what type of funnel it is. But for the most part, generally I want to keep it Monday to Friday. I don't want to be emailing people on weekends. That's just a preference for me. Obviously, you can do anything you want. And then, okay, now we have that. And now we go to send email, and this will be email number 2. Pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go through every single email, obviously, here, but that is the framework of how you can build out an email marketing campaign using a CRM, having that lead magnet from the landing page, and getting them into that funnel where you're starting to convert them from, an actual stranger, or a stranger, I should say, to an actual client. Now that you guys have an understanding of email marketing, if you guys want to see my actual complete funnel from start to finish, top of the funnel to bottom of the funnel, click there to watch that video. If you guys enjoyed this one, all I ask is that you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.